Anyways, guys, small shout out again at the start of the game as we do player introductions here. This is a game that is free. It's in the StarCraft 2 arcade. The StarCraft 2 arcade is 100% free. You don't need to own HOTS. You don't need to own Wings of Liberty. If you're just a crazy enthusiast and you're kind of mildly intrigued by this, go download StarCraft 2 for free right now, and you can play Starbow. Anyways, this tournament is, of course, the Starbow Invitational. $1,200 up for grabs, as we got Twitch TV as well as Razer donating, combined with the community, to put this on for you all. And it's a pleasure to cast. It's a pleasure to be here. And spawning in the top left corner of Neo Tau Cross, it's going to be the Red Protoss TT1.
On the bottom right, as the blue Zerg, it is RSVP.
I like, by the way, I was checking out the VOD from when I had to bail on the cast for like 5 minutes yesterday. I love your intros. Sorry guys for no cool swivels, like that needed to be thrown out there.
Dude, it's a trademark. Even I'm used to it because I watch your camera.
Just start going like all DJ, like whatcha. But okay, TT1 showed a really strong, aggressive style in game number 1. I'm not sure, like, again, like RSVP elected, like this wasn't like he was forced to do it or anything. He chose to play Zerg for this, so I kind of thought maybe he had some sort of secret strategy up his sleeve, and you're right, that game 1 may have been intended to be like a 1-2 punch, but it certainly didn't come out that way, because I kind of feel like TT1 punched first, you know what I mean?
I think it was like the punch and the guy was totally prepared for it, and then everything else after that was...
Adrian!
It was just not gonna work out. Because unless those Lings do damage, is it really gonna be a case where the mutas do damage? And if the mutas don't do damage, then how are the Hydras going to be plenty enough to help out? So, yeah, it's an order of events that just did not work out for RSVP, and we'll see if he should try something different. I really feel like he should, like not going for that Ling attack at the very least.
Yeah, again, like, early Ling all-ins can work if handled correctly, but TT1 was just so good with the SimCity and the Zealots that it's just never going to happen. And hopefully RSVP has recognized that. I mean, the one key thing, too, is he's scouted with his drone. It's still alive. He's able to see, like, okay, there's a forge first. He might not see the other buildings yet, but he knows there's going to be a cannon down already. So pushing into this really wouldn't work out too well. And actually, I want to give a small nod to TT1 for doing this, because I've been pulling my hair out at the basics of StarCraft 2 that get forgotten when people play Starbow. Like, walling off versus Zerg. Like, it's like, oh right, I should do that.
Really?
ZVZs, I don't even, like, especially ZVZs seem to be, like, the biggest thing. Like, go through any of the casts we have on YouTube, guys. So many times you'll hear me complaining, like, where's the Evolution Chamber wall? Where's the barracks at the front? Like, why is there no wall up versus Zerg? And I don't know what that is, because it's good players, too. Like, it was, like, Goody, I think, was one of the Protoss players who was guilty of it. And you're just kind of like, really? Like, nothing's changed in that regard, PvZ. Like,
it's true. Walling off in Brood War is actually a lot harder. Because God forbid, like, you put a supply depot next to another supply depot on the right side. That's not gonna work.
Yeah. God forbid. But, okay, the one thing about the Neo Tau Cross, guys, that I think is going to play a little bit, I guess, not a little bit, a bigger influence on the game, is there's not a lot of ramps on this map. There's not a lot of high ground to come into effect for Defender's advantage, so you see a lot more of these chokes made off throughout the map. I don't know if that's going to be the biggest deal, because sometimes Defender's advantage can win you a game. Again, like, if you see a siege tank miss a shot, it's a 4-second cooldown. Zerglings are, of course, not affected by it, and it's a little bit different for Hydros and Lurkers as well, but it's a map where you're not limited in that regard.
A lot of these maps are obviously like from Brood War, but they're also able to work out and they look different and feel different because the Protoss race is different. You don't have to worry about force fields. I mean, no map is ever going to have... Yeah, no map's ever going to have that choke at between the main and the natural on this map ever in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it's impossible because the force field would just be like, LOL, I win the game. But, okay, so RSVP, I want to point out, still has this drone alive, which might seem insignificant at a glance, but this is actually kind of a big deal. There's a lot of scouting information. Constantly seeing there's no Stargate, no Robo-Tech thrown down, like knowing that his opponent's just making probes for the time being. That's what allowed him to take this third. Now, unfortunately, as we see, Azella does get in here, but even then, I mean, RSVP's comfortably mining. He doesn't have an insane worker lead. I would love to see him get a huge economic advantage this game. You pointed it out last game, his drone count was lacking for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the same as in StarCraft 2 where you need a really big drone count before you make any units at all. You can stay on like a relatively low amount, but it just was way too long and way too low. So this might be the game where he He does it appropriately, right? So speaking of appropriate, so he got those fast 3 bases. He's only up to 26 drones, and he is starting to make units. So maybe looking for an attack with Hydras, maybe a bit of a bust with like Ling Hydra. He doesn't have speed for his Lings, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's going for muscular augments like instead of groove spines with no speed on his Lings. I mean, I guess in one regard, you're kind of expecting the Lings just to be cannon fodder anyways for the Hydralisk. So if he's planning to just kind of aim move and not do a lot of micro, I can kind of see the slow Lings working, but he's going to need a lot, and I mean a lot of Hydralisks.
Yeah, it's more about the Hydralisk in this bust, you know? It's not like the Ling Hydra bust in StarCraft 2, which is very powerful. In, Starbow, you can actually do just a Hydra bust. Now, TT1, he did get speed very fast. He hit that Twilight Council, so RSVP actually has no idea about it. He has no idea what his opponent's doing. Could be going for, Reavers for all he knew.
Hey guys, where can I get some cocaine? I mean, look how fast these guys are moving. This base is going to be in for a bit of trouble. There's a lot of Hydralisks at the 3rd, but the natural base is somewhat undefended at the moment. There's a Queen that does enrage, or enrage rather. What enrages in range?
Yeah, in range. Yeah, this is definitely enough Hydralisk, and TT1 might be. I don't know. Is he going to be okay? Okay, it depends how he trades, all right? Because Speedloads are still pretty good against Hydras. The Lings are actually really helping out, keeping them back from just, charging up to the Hydras. But if he loses all of those Zealots and only takes down, like 4 Hydras, I don't know if that's going to be the trade that he wants, because he still has to defend. Like, RSVP is going for an attack. I'd be starting to turn up, so maybe not.
Small nod to RSVP too. I was kind of worried about him maybe just like A-moving the Hydralisks and not actually microing them, but he did stutter step them away from the Zealots. I mean, they've got speed. They're still going to connect, but it definitely helps a lot as far as reducing the Hydralisk losses. But we do have Storm on the way, and guys, if you don't know, Storm hits for a lot more in Starbow. I think it's like 80 in regular StarCraft, like 125 or something in Starbow, so it can certainly blanket a lot of Hydralisks very easily.
I guess RSVP isn't going for the attack. Either he was, and then that attack happened, and he figured, forget it, or those are just purely for defense, which doesn't sound right, but it could have been.
Well, actually, that could be the fact. Like with how aggressive TT was in Game 1, maybe he was like actually scared of what just happened, like that Zealot bully push type move.
I guess so. It seems like an awful lot of Hydralisk though for that. Well.
Yeah, well, it's Starbow. It's different reactions, right? Like this many Hydralisks in StarCraft 2 would be an overreaction, but maybe in Starbow is actually quite appropriate. Hydralisks are off of creep. Doesn't really matter though, because there's no speed bonuses in this game, guys. So we see the muscular augments just carrying them through this. Nice stutter steps out of RSVP. You should try Terran sometime, brother. As he kites down a lot of these Zealots. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the AI is still like really good. That's one thing that in Brood War, if this happened, like you could split the Hydralisk and the Zealots would kind of mess up. But it's actually going to be a very even trade, apparently. And of course, it's going to be minerals for gas.
Yes, but Hydralisks, they're not as expensive. Like they're not as big of a deal. Like this isn't like the tier 2 Hydralisk. Like okay, great, I just lost my army, no chance to remax. Lurker Den is on the way. Actually, this is gonna be huge. This is something he's definitely been lacking at this point. Dealing with ground-based units, Lurkers are huge, guys. If you've never seen a Lurker, by the way, well, first off, where have you been? Whether it's StarCraft 2 or StarCraft 1, what they do is that they're units that burrow like a swarm host, but they don't create free units. They just create the one huge attack in a line. So it's kind of like watching a Hellion Blast go off. One line of damage.
Yeah.
They also hit really freaking hard.
So what you can do with the Mutalisk, like you might be thinking he's going to do a Mutalisk transition rather than go for Lurkers, even though he just made a Lurker Den, which I guess he still could. But a lot of the times you get Mutalisk, just a handful of Mutalisk to snipe High Templars, so they can't storm your Hydralisk backup and or Lurkers if they don't have detection.
One thing worth noting too, the drone count looks really low compared to the probe count. But you guys have to know too, you don't need that much saturation on these bases. And in fact, I don't know if this is perfect saturation or not, but in Starbow, I think someone was telling me there's like almost diminishing returns on the more workers you have. It actually kind of gets worse for mining. So I think this, just look at the economy tab right now. RSVP is, he's got a lesser economy, but not by a significant amount.
I still would like to see more more drones. Oh, actually, this attack's happening right now, and it's a very powerful attack. Again, a Zealot
It's got Lurkers though. It's got Lurkers though. No detection here.
No detection. Oh, this is great. Well, it could be great.
He could just run away from the Lurkers. Zealots are so fast.
Yeah, that's cool.
Meanwhile, Mutalisks are doing a bit of damage on the other side of the map. Killed a couple of probes, but really not too many. RSVP is going to lose this third, and if the Mutalisks come home, the Archons are. If the Archons aren't a bother to deal with, the Storm certainly will be.
Yeah, losing Overlord, so actually RSVP is supply blocked.
Ooh,
Not
TT1
looking too
doing
good for
work.
him. He's down by 40 supply. Gotta clean up the Zealots after a very,
Oh god.
very long ordeal.
Maybe if he wasn't supply blocked, this wouldn't be so bad, but right now, this is looking really, really terrible. Some Queens in range in the main to try and hold on, but as we see the Archons just, well, actually pop off. That Queen has, what, 1 health, 5 health remaining? He'll clean this up, but at the cost of his third, which was something he was desperately needing in the first place, this is not an acceptable loss for RSVP.
No.
God, how many
And
Overlords
TT1
actually died? 6 Overlords died!
TT1's also on 3 base. So that wasn't a 2 base attack. Like his economy is absolutely fine. It's fantastic, and RSVP's now is in the gutter for sure.
Crisis alert!
Sure.
Huge high five to anyone who understands that reference I just made. Anyways, third base is being retaken for RSVP, but also a fourth being slapped down while this is going on. I like this. It's one of those necessary things where he's just, that was so much damage he took. Like, his army supply is still sufficient enough to fight in this game, but he's not able to perform a proper counterattack. Mutalisks, as we see, are trying to harass, but it's only like 7 of them. It's not a flock of 20.
Yeah. And he's given up on Mutas too. Like that was the only one he was gonna make. Now he's trying to do something with a Hydralisk and these lurkers, which is kind of cool. But with the cannon there's gonna be detection. Oh, making a big shot off on the probes.
Cannon, second cannon, or third cannon, I should say, completes. Storm being slapped down, stacking up the storms. Of course, they don't do bonus damage, but still enough to kill the lurkers. Again, Storm does hit quite harder in Starbow, guys.
Yeah. They've actually been. I know they were talking about it maybe like a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about implementing smart or taking away smart cast rather, because Storm is again really really good. It's not breaking the game or anything like that. Obviously, they would have implemented it if that was the case, but it's interesting to think of. For those of you who don't know, that means they actually click on a High Templar and cast it. Otherwise, they mess up and all cast the same thing.
That's yeah. I kind of. Sometimes I wish ghosts were able to do that instead of having to spam the, or not spam, hold it down and spam click, but anyways, Smartcast conversation aside, Mules are going to take out the last cannon in defense here at the third, but this army approaching the base of RSVP is looking way too big. There's still no, oh, there's the observer actually. There's detection this time, so I don't think the lurkers are going to hold the same way they did before.
No, definitely not. The Zealot's getting right on top of it too, like, oh, that was pretty easy for TT1, this engagement anyways.
With so many Archons living through this, I mean, the Templar didn't even have to burn any storms. They've still got plenty of energy to slap those down. This is looking pretty darn grim here for RSVP. And TT1, again, like, he's fighting from having taken a def loss in the first round. Congratulations to him. 2-0 takes it over RSVP.